The topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Who is January Jones? She is not a young, beautiful, talented actress on Mad Men. She is not an older, gorgeous, exotic dancer from the Johnny Carson Show. She is an author, and she wrote Thou Shalt Not Whine, the 11th Commandment, that reached #1 at Amazon.com. She is a reality TV golf personality with World High Stakes Golf televised on HDNet. She is a humorist and winologist expert. She is your featured host today on January Jones Sharing Success Stories. So sit back, relax, and get ready to laugh and listen to Ms. Jones with her eclectic roster of guests as you learn life's lessons. These stories plus sharing equals success. Welcome, and remember, beware, because you are entering the no whining world of January Jones.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. And you know what? It's really going to get a lot better now that you're with us today and my wonderful guest. If you're a new listener, we renamed the podcast January Jones Sharing Senior Success. And that's because I'm finally admitting out loud on the air that I turned 80. And actually, I'm celebrating it. And I'd like to gear more of our shows to seniors who might be listening to us. Never fear, I'm still the glitter granny hat lady. And today I'm wearing my silver interview hat. Now for my listeners, let me ask you a question. Would you like to shake up your life? Would you like to make some extra money? Well, I think everyone would. That's a pretty easy question to answer. Do you ever wonder what you can do to get out of your rut? You know, are you ever kind of just stuck and you just don't know which direction to go, which way to go, what to do? And do you ever feel like it's time to make some changes and get the show on the road? I'm going to ask you a question. Can you imagine what it would be like to commit to a 12-week program? Yeah, I'm serious about that. A program for self-improvement and more income. Well, guess what? I just did that. I'm not going to be going into my 4th week of an amazing program that we're going to share with you today. And I bet you wish you could meet someone who does it and shows us and teaches us. Now, would you like to meet a man who is doing that for me? He is the author of 22 books. Now, can you imagine 22 books? I have 7 books. And getting to 22, wow, what an impressive amount of books. His book, The 7-Figure Expert, Your Guide to Ultimate Life of More Impact, Influence, and Freedom. And you can also get a free copy of it. We'll tell you about that later. Today, we're going to talk with Noah St.John. And he's been on my show several other times. And I've been interested in what he's been sharing with our listeners and me. But I never really did anything about it. You know, I was a good listener. And now I've done it. And let me introduce you to Noah. And we'll talk about my joining his 12-week program. Hi, Noah.
Hello, January. Great to see you.
Oh, good. I'm so happy. I'm looking so forward to having you here with me. It was interesting, as you know, how this came about. You had been on the guest show before. I toyed with the idea, and then all of a sudden, I just thought, hey, I've got to do something. I've been doing this podcast for 12 years now.
Mm.
And it's a wonderful podcast. I've got thousands, I've actually got millions of listeners on some of
Mhm.
the networks. And, you know, my husband's very proud of me and we talk about it. And he keeps saying, "Oh, you're really doing wonderful, but are you ever going to make any money?" That was kind of like a little missing part of the equation.
Mm.
And I thought, gosh darn, now
Mm.
that I'm 80, if I'm ever going to do it, I better do it now. And I went to your website. I signed up
Mhm.
for your program.
Yep.
I took a deep breath and I thought, I can do this. I can do this. And it's been, so far, it's been incredible, just incredible.
Mm.
And that's why I want to share you with everyone today, because I can already report what a big difference. I've been doing the program. This will be now my fourth week coming up.
Mhm.
I've gotten my focus. I've finally figured out my true market. And you're helping me work on ways to actually make money. Now, how many people have you done this for, dear?
Oh my gosh. I mean, just thousands and thousands. I don't know the actual number, but it's certainly in the thousands that I've worked with personally. And it's in the millions of people who are experiencing my work all around the world. For example, if you go to my YouTube channel, we have well over 1 million views and, tens of thousands of subscribers. And so my guesstimate is that we've helped over 3 million people all around the world in over 140 countries, who have used my methods to really make a lot of money. Yes, that's absolutely true. But also, more importantly, to win their lives back. And
Yeah.
I love what you said earlier in the opening of today's program, because your listeners, as you mentioned, they're older, they're seniors,
Mhm.
and they're entering the years where, and so many, this is the number one fear of seniors, is they're afraid they're going to outlive their money.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just that is
Yeah.
the number one fear.
Mhm.
And everybody knows that inflation is up and jobs are down and things like this, and everybody's talking about the economy and all of these things. And frankly, there's a lot of fear out there.
Oh, yeah.
But what I've been doing for the last 26 years is helping people to take control of their lives. And there are specific ways that we do that.
Mhm.
And what I really enjoy and love about this, and as you've heard me say this in our coaching calls, in our group coaching, and by the way, the program that we're talking about is called the 12-week breakthrough. And
Okay.
the reason that I started the 12-week breakthrough is because I'm known for helping people make more money in just 12 weeks than they did in the previous 12 months, while winning their lives back at the same time. And so, what I want the folks at home to realize in listening to the program is that this is not about the hustle and the grind and working harder. I'm 56. I've been doing this. I started when I was 30 years old, in a 300 square foot basement apartment in Hadley, Massachusetts. Now I
Oh,
live in a 6,000 square foot mansion on a hill in
yeah.
Northeast Ohio with my beautiful wife. And so it's been a very, very long journey. So a big, big part of what I do is help people to really, really, yes, make more money, but more importantly, win their lives back.
Yeah, and, going back to what you said about, seniors, we take our dog to the dog park every day, and we've gotten to know everyone. It's kind of like a regular meeting for us all, and you can't believe how many of our new friends there are taking part-time jobs, and a lot of it is just what you said. Will they run out of money?
Right.
It's kind of a subtle, unsaid thing. Of course, a lot of them are bored. They're just bored and they're looking for
Yep.
something to do. They want to get out of the house. They're taking jobs in retail.
Right.
And of course, I love having my job, which I can do at home here in my
That's right.
studio.
That's right.
But of course, as I said, I didn't really have any funnels or avenues towards adding a little bit to our income, which, is always kind of a nice thing to do. And it's
Yeah.
Gives you amazing possibilities. That's what I've discovered. Before we talk too much about my possibilities, share with our listeners how you developed this. I love your shower story.
Well, in April of 1997, I had an epiphany that changed my life when I was in the shower. I do call it the shower that changed everything. So
Mhm.
this was over 26 years ago now. And I discovered exactly what was missing in all the traditional success literature that I'd spent so many years reading and studying. I spent an insane amount of time because I grew up poor in a rich neighborhood. And so I hated being poor. And
Mhm.
I just wanted to find a way out of that poverty because I literally saw that, yes, I grew up in poverty in my home, with my family, but I saw that right down the street, there's great wealth and abundance. So, from the time I was a little kid, I was always asking the question, how the heck do I get from here to there?
Yeah.
And so I read every book, I studied, and I went to all these seminars and listened to all these gurus. And they all said basically the same thing. And, it was all just kind of a bunch of regurgitation of all the same information you've heard a million times. And so what I did was I discovered a few things that were really different and that no one else was talking about. And so that's why I had to, or I decided to, I decided to write my first book back in 1998,
Mhm.
which was called Permission to Succeed.
Okay.
And then it was subsequently published by the Chicken Soup for the Soul publisher in 1999. So that was my very first book
Mhm.
back, in 1999. And now, actually 24 books later, you can see some of the books here behind me. And my books are in 18 languages. These are some of the books in different languages. But, like I said, the journey has been really about helping people to make more money, to win their lives back. And also, if you think about, for our older listeners, think about all of the life experience that you have, right? And it's you mentioned a lot of seniors are working in retail now, and I see that everywhere I go. When my wife and we go to the store, we go shopping, and we'll see this, older folks and seniors are working in retail. And my thought always is, I bet this wasn't what they dreamed about. I bet they didn't dream of spending their golden years working in retail.
Yeah.
But that would be my assumption. And so the
Mhm.
point is, what I've done is I've created a system that anybody can use, no matter what your age, no matter how old or how young you are, but to take your life experience. The folks listening to this program, everybody has some amazing life experiences, and to take your life experiences and really package it up in such a way that you're able to, number one, share it with people all around the world, and number two, make a really nice living at it. And this can be part-time, this can be just a few hours a day. It doesn't have to be a full-time thing. And as I mentioned earlier, this is not about working 14, 16, 18 hours a day. I mean, when you're in your 20s and 30s, you can do stuff like that. But as we get older, I don't want to do that. I'm in my 50s and I'm like, no, I'm
Yeah.
not doing it. I want a life. I enjoy taking walks with my wife, as you mentioned, like going to the dog park and just hanging out and having fun, going kayaking, going hiking, whatever it might be. So that's really what it's about. Yes, it's about taking all your life experiences, packaging them up, and then frankly, selling it to the whole world, making some nice income and really having a great life.
Oh, yeah. And I'm looking so forward to being one of your really, really big success stories. And as being a part of this program, what I want to share is that you just helped me step back and focus and really look at what my podcast, which is my source, will be my source of revenue.
Mhm.
I looked at it objectively, and you really helped me really fine tune my market, to get it
Mhm.
right down to the nuts and bolts of who I'm really talking to when I do this show.
Yep.
And then I've identified, a lot of the problems that have held me back. Problems that, now that we've sit down and worked on them, I can, it seems like they're so easy to solve. And I'm
Mhm.
thinking, well, why didn't I think of that? But that's why I'm with you. And the best part is I've now formulated a plan,
Mhm.
a, a real plan of action. Plus, I'm making incredible changes. And I'm just so excited. I've got a new energy.
Yeah. I can feel it from just, and for the folks listening, keep in mind, January's only been in my program for 4 weeks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just a few weeks, just literally a matter of days, and her whole perspective has changed. She's got a whole new lease on life, and really, frankly, that comes from being able to utilize a system. I really want to emphasize that, because a lot of the gurus that are out there, that people might be listening to or whatever, they have this really big personality. And that's what I call personality driven success, meaning
Right.
it's all about them. And
Mhm.
see, the problem with that is, well, what if you don't have that personality? What are you supposed to do? And of course, most of us don't have that personality. Like, I don't have that personality. I'm just a nerd who likes to study things and teach people and coach and, just help people. And so the point is, that's why I developed this system. That is why I call it system driven success. And that's why no matter, what age you are, or whether you're just starting out or you've been doing this for a while,
Mhm.
this works. And that's the beauty of it. You just plug in where you are, and so, like, for the folks at home, they might be saying, well, that's great for January, but I don't have a podcast. It doesn't matter if you have a podcast or not. And,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter if you've written a book or not. I've helped so many people to write their very first book, even when they had no idea what they were going to be doing. In fact,
Mhm.
we actually have a book done for you service as well. And, there's lots of people, because people ask me all the time, how'd you write 24 books? And, I want to write my book. How do you do it? So I just started this service where we help people get their books done. And as an example, one of our clients right now is a stem cell doctor in Nashville. And
Mhm.
he told me when he hired me, he said, Noah, I've been thinking about writing this book for 10 years. The last 10 years, I've wanted to write this book. We got it done for him in 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to take long. And I want to just speak about time for a moment, because, hey,
Mhm.
as we're getting older, the clock is ticking, right? And it's like, good gosh, as when we're in our 20s and 30s, we think you got forever. And it's like, oh my gosh, as we get older, like, oh my goodness, old man time is ticking away here. And so we want to make sure that we get these systems in place. And, it doesn't have to be this hard, arduous, terrible thing. It really can be very simple, very easy, using the things you already have. And frankly, that's what I call leverage, using what you already have to
Mhm.
get the things that you really want.
Yeah. And I think what's wonderful is you really help me step back and figure out what I really had, what I
Mhm,
could use, what I couldn't use.
mhm.
And I'm been able to make some really super constructive decisions and plans that I'm following through. And speaking about marketing books, everyone, if you know a whiner, or if you are a whiner, this is the book for you.
Lately, there's a whining epidemic in our world. People are even whining about whining. Are you sick and tired of listening to everyone whining all the time? So was January Jones, the author of Thou Shalt Not Whine, the 11th commandment that reached #1 at Amazon.com. Ms. Jones based her book on a survey of the top 10 things that people whine about at all ages and all stages of life. January is a success coach that can tell you how to help others. When you buy Thou Shalt Not Whine, the 11th commandment, you'll find out what people whine about and how to stop them from whining. This is the perfect gift book to give or get for any occasion. Thou Shalt Not Whine was voted the best gift to be given anonymously for those special people in your life. Ms. Jones is an internationally known author in the style of Irma Bombeck, specializing in housewife humor, with her book being published in Korea and China. You can find Thou Shalt Not Whine at Amazon.com.
Welcome back, Noah St. John. And before we go on, Noah, would you give your contact information and how people can find you?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, I created a special PDF where people can actually learn about my system. I was just talking about my system, right? And
Mhm.
it's called my $2 billion business breakthrough PDF. And so all you have to do is go to noahstjohn.com/January. And when you
Mhm.
go to noahstjohn.com/January, I will give you a free copy of my $2 billion business breakthrough strategy PDF. All right. And so the point is that that is a free PDF that you can read, and it's got, lots of documentation and pictures and images that really will help you on your journey. And then if you want to actually talk to me or one of my success coaches about how I can help you, just go to that same website, noahstjohn.com/January. And that way I know that you heard me here on January's program. And we will take, of course, we'll take great care of you and give you that white glove VIP service that we're famous for.
Yeah. And this is a whole new concept. I knew nothing about it. I had never even heard of it. Affiliate marketer. And now I find I am one.
That's right. You are.
And you're not the only one I'm doing it with. All of a sudden, possibilities.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm just having all kinds of opportunities to make connections with other people, other businesses, and I told you I was in the process of applying to become an Amazon influencer, which right up my alley.
Absolutely.
You have an opportunity to share what you buy. And I'm a world-class shopper. So I want to share. And I'm not talking just about shoes or purses or jewelry. I'm talking about stuff I buy for the house and things that we use and that fit into solve our problems.
Right.
Tell us a little bit, now that you've introduced me to, what is the whole concept of affiliate marketing? How does it work?
Well, that's one of the benefits of working with the coach, right? Because I've been doing this for over a quarter century now. I've seen it all. I've done it all. I've spent over $750,000, literally over $750,000 to learn all this stuff. And that's a lot of money and a lot of years, right? So the point is, when you work with a coach like me, that means you get to save time and save money. You don't have to go through the hell that I had to go through to learn all this stuff. Yeah. Right. I mean, you don't want to take another 20 years, right, to learn this. It's like, no, I don't want to take that much time. And believe me, I wish I hadn't had to take that much time. The problem is I was going to all these gurus who can't teach their way out of a paper bag. Yeah. So, the point is they're out there and they're doing their thing, but they're really not helping people to reach their goals. And so that's why, when you work with someone like me and you have a coach, then I can see what is so obvious to me that, you could be doing this for the next 5-10 years and you probably wouldn't have even thought about it. Yeah. Not that you're not smart or not sharp. You just don't have the experience that I have. Right. And that's the benefit of working with a coach like me who has done it all, seen it all, made every mistake in the book, and that way I can save you time. It's just like if you want to climb a mountain. I mean, you could do it all by yourself, but you could slip and fall and hurt yourself. So the point is, I've been to the top of the mountain. I've been there many, many times. I've helped a lot of people get up there. So I'm like the Sherpa, climbing Mount Everest, and I help make your way that much faster and easier.
Oh, for sure. It's, what I loved about working with you, or I love about working with you, is I really got to look at things objectively and then decide where I wanted to go. And then when I would have ideas of how to do it, and I run it by you and we work on it together. I've never had a coach. Isn't that amazing? I've, been doing this for 12 years and I've never had a coach. Yeah. And so I think for a lot of people, they think, they think, well, this might be too much money. Well, I'll tell you, you're going to make it back. And I don't know if it takes you 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, or it could even take you, a year, whatever your own speed. I think your guarantee is pretty darn good.
Well, that really is, you're absolutely right. And I'll give you an example. And I have so many examples. When you go to that webpage that I just mentioned, noahstjohn.com/January, you can see dozens and dozens of other clients and other success stories. And that's how you know it's a system and not just a personality. But I'm thinking of another senior that I was helping and coaching. Her name's Tamisa. She is a business owner in Arizona, and she is a self-described seminar junkie. That's her term. And she was going to all these seminars.
Yeah.
And she, was doing well in her business. She was making six figures, but she just couldn't break through that income ceiling. That's what I call it. When you just keep hitting that ceiling and, you're kind of going along like this and everything's okay, but it's not really what you want or, what you're dreaming of maybe. And so, she actually heard about me from a friend, and she decided to join my 12-week breakthrough program, same program that you're in. Well, she emailed me in week 2. Just week 2. And she said, Noah, I've already tripled my investment with you in just 2 weeks of coaching with you. Yeah. And the funny thing is we hadn't even started talking about the money yet. we were just talking about, other things in life in general and things like that. But she tripled her investment in just 2 weeks. Yeah. So we have so many stories like that. And that's how it's a system. That's what gets me excited. You've heard me say this in our coaching calls, January. This is my favorite part of the week. Coaching is my favorite thing to do. You see, I get all lit up. I get excited because I'd rather brag about my clients than myself. Yes. There's a lot of gurus out there, and that's what they do. They brag about themselves. Hey, look at my jet. Look at my plane. Look at my boat. Aren't I awesome? And you're like, oh, yeah, you're awesome, man. But have you helped anyone else? And they don't really talk about that because they may not have so many success stories other than, themselves. That means, oh, great, you've made tons of money. How's that going to help me? Sure. Yeah. And so, but people don't think that. They go, oh, well, if this guy's so rich, he'll show me how to get rich. 99 times out of 100, not really. They don't, not so much. And I've spent $750,000 to prove that. But anyways, my point is that's why I'd rather brag about you, and you said it already. You've already made your investment back. You're already seeing things in a whole new way. And that's the beauty of it is it's going to pay you back for the rest of your life. It's not that it's going to end in 12 weeks. I mean, the coaching is a 12-week program, but you get to keep the knowledge in here forever. Yeah. So that's the beauty of it. It'll pay you in spades for the rest of your life. Yeah.
And the concept of you helping me set up passive income.
Right.
Unthinkable. I never would have thought of how to do it. I never would have crossed my mind. It's like we're going along, opening up different doors. As far as that 1 hour session, if you're thinking about talking to Noah, I mean, it's just free of charge. And it's a good chance to meet him. And it's a good chance to tell him, what your problem is and what you have. And I think the direction that you've given me in so many aspects. As a matter of fact, this last week, we were working on my website. And because of that one class, that 1 hour, it's being completely redone. And it's very, it's going to be so current, it's going to be what people want, what people need. And we were talking about selling books. And right now, if you don't have your books on Audible, people are now doing everything with their phones. It's just changing our world. People shop with their phones. You have to have a website that is, mobile friendly.
Yep.
Definitely. And your product has to be mobile friendly. Of course, my website's on all kinds of phones and it's very friendly to everyone. I really recommend doing that. Give them a call. Yes, for sure. And what else do you think we should talk about this session?
Well, there's a couple of places where people can start. I think the first place is noahstjohn.com/January. Get my $2 billion. And when I say $2 billion, by the way, just so you know what that means for the folks listening, that means I've helped my clients over the last 26 years to add over. It's really $3 billion now, but we kind of want to unhype it. I'm not one of those guys that is hyping everything up. I downplay everything, which, you know what I mean? Because there's so much hype out there and so many just people, making all these promises that they don't keep. And I hate that. And I think everybody's tired of it. So the point is, collectively, my clients have added well over $2 billion, really more like $3 billion collectively. So that means I've helped just regular people, chiropractors, health professionals, network marketers, entrepreneurs, coaches, speakers, authors, podcasters, people from all walks of life, and people who hadn't even started a business yet. to add 6 figures and multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, and even 8 figures. And you can see all of that at noahstjohn.com/January. Get the PDF, just put in your name and email, and I will send you that PDF for free. And then if you would like to talk to me or one of my coaches right there after you get your PDF, then you can schedule a call. You schedule, we call it a breakthrough consultation, because I'm known as the breakthrough coach, right? Hence the name 12-week breakthrough, and helping people make more in just 12 weeks than they did in the previous 12 months. And really, while winning your life back. And I say that phrase so often because I feel it's so important for people to realize that this is different. It's not the same hustle and grind, work 14, 18, 20 hours a day. No, we're not doing that. We're having a life. Yes, of course, we're making more money. But January, you've already alluded to this, just by me showing you these different distinctions, which for me are so easy, right? But for you, and it's kind of like this. Imagine if you're on the inside of a bottle, right? Imagine if you're on the inside of a bottle and you're trying to read the label that's on the outside. You could be trying that for years and you'd never get there. Meanwhile, I'm on the outside of the bottle looking at you, looking at your bottle going, well, it says this, this, and this. And you're like, I didn't know that, right? But it's right in front of you. It's right in front of me, because I have all of these things, all these experiences, helping so many people, making so many mistakes, making millions, losing millions. The point is that's what having the right coach can do for you.
Oh, yeah. And, the concept of me at 80 starting a new business. And I'm not only starting one new business, I'm starting several, because all of a sudden, once you get the plan, you can apply it in different areas, because I'm planning on obviously selling my books, but now I'm going to be selling books. People have been on the show for 12 years, and I've been promoting their books with no, action on the deal, so to speak. I've been giving free publicity and not reaping any benefits. And plus, that's the same thing with starting a business as an affiliate with, there's so many affiliate opportunities that are out there. It's unbelievable. And you just have to know where to search. Yeah.
Correct. Well, and that's the beauty of it, because I teach so many ways that people can add multiple streams of income. Because some people listening to this might say, oh, but Noah, I don't have a book. I'm not an author. I don't know what I would write. I don't know what I would say. Who would listen to me? They have all these objections, right? Which I call head trash. That's the very thing that's holding you back. I've been helping people take out their head trash for over a quarter century now. No one on this planet has helped more people take out their head trash than me. I've literally written 24 books on this one subject, right? So the point is, all these objections you have, all these, oh, I can't do it because, oh, I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I'm too old. It's too late for me. These are all excuses. This is all head trash. And the point is that as long as you're listening to that head trash, you're going to stay stuck. So I'm the guy that actually you come to and I show you how to take out that trash. That is the very thing that's holding you back right now. So that's one of the great things, as you mentioned, about affiliate marketing. Absolutely anyone on this planet can be an affiliate marketer today, tomorrow. I mean, you could start right now, even if you've never written a book, you don't know where to start. Why? Because affiliate marketing is all about just telling people about products that you already use, that you love, and that you're using and that you're benefiting from yourself. So January is an affiliate of mine, and she's also going to be an affiliate of other people. And then eventually, she's going to be that person that other people will be selling her programs, right? So that's the beauty of it. If you're listening to this, you have all these excuses. I can't do it because, don't listen to that voice anymore. Get started today. I'm giving you a way to do it for free. There's no money. Just go to noahstjohn.com/January. At least read my report, get the information, and then you can be educated to make an educated decision that will benefit you for the rest of your life.
Oh, for sure. I signed up after our class the other day and became an affiliate with several different businesses, which is exciting. And, it's like you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
You've hired a coach and he's going to help you get the wheel turning.
That's right. I've already built it. You don't have to redo it. I've done it. I've given you the system. It's right here. I mean, there it is. Boom. I teach it to you. Boom. There it is. It's right there in the 7-Figure Expert book. But this is exactly what we're doing. I'm teaching you this in the class, and so you can get the book. By the way, you can get this book for free at sevenfigureexpertbook.com, sevenfigureexpertbook.com. The book is free. We just ask you to cover the shipping. So this book gives you a really great overview of what I do and what makes it different and why it's so simple and probably easier than what you're doing right now. It's something you could do part-time. You could do it full-time, however much you want to devote to it. And then when you go to noahstjohn.com/January, get my PDF, get on the call with me or one of my coaches, and we'll show you how you can implement this very, very quickly and easily. And you don't have to just sit there and in confusion anymore. You can. I've already figured all this stuff out. I've been doing it a long time. So please don't waste more time and more money. Get rid of that confusion and especially get rid of that head trash that's holding you back.
Oh, for sure. And this book is my Bible.
That's right.
And
I mean, it's powerful, and that's the beauty. It's so simple. It's simple on the far side of complexity. And what I mean by that is because I've spent so much time and money, I've seen it all, I've done it all, I've made millions, lost millions, and that's why I'm able to simplify things in a way that makes it easy for anyone to do. And in fact, one of my clients years ago, he said, "Noah, you're like the money-making easy button." I'm like, wow, that is really cool. That's why I have an easy button right here on my desk every day to remind me.
That was easy.
Like that.
That's great. We're going to take a break and hear about some of my other books that I've written. And I want to mention that all of my books are available at audible.com. That's the thing right now. Do it. Have you ever met someone who was unforgettable? Someone who has touched your heart and soul? People who have faced difficult problems? People who have struggled to find solutions? People who fearlessly shared their stories? People who have not only informed you, but inspired you? People who have priceless personalities? I have been fortunate to host an internet radio talk show called January Jones Sharing Success Stories, and it has been my privilege to interview hundreds of guests. My guests have shared their stories, their struggles, their secrets, and their successes in their own words. In this book, we're talking about people dealing with problems such as incest, molestation, runaway kids, child abuse, drug abuse, polygamy, unemployment, scandal, and starting over. Then there are my guests dealing with difficult physical struggles such as blindness, cancer, and birth defects that are beyond traumatic. My guests have all been exciting, eclectic, and energizing. They have amazed, amused, and even astonished me. I have adored getting to meet them, and I adore sharing them with you.
Attention all listeners. Priceless Personalities, Success Stories Shared by January Jones, Volume 2 is now available at Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle editions. You'll be able to meet 10 amazing people who will be sharing their own personal stories with all their struggles, successes, and solutions, sprinkled with lots of humor and hope. Priceless Personalities features a teenager who becomes one of the famous Supremes from Motown, a nurse who as a humorist helps people to heal, an inspiring laughter yoga instructor, a mother dealing with the loss of a child, an incredible motivational speaker, a woman who married 5 times, a gifted paranormal nurse, a wise economist, a funny female humorist, along with an older man sharing his sweet childhood in the Deep South. January's guests are all amazing and amusing. You will never forget meeting them. Go to Amazon.com for your own priceless experience.
Welcome back with Noah St. John, my coach. I should start calling you Coach Noah. Mm-hmm. And I was going to tell everyone this Thanksgiving, my family will be gathering here for the holiday. And one of my grandsons, he's a senior in college, he'll be coming here and he'll be getting this book. And I have 7 grandkids, so most of them will be getting it for Christmas. But it just is wonderful to realize you can create something and get it all set up. And hopefully this could be a legacy. This is something I could bring my grandson or any of the other grandchildren into, because what you're teaching me to do, I can teach them.
That's right.
Once I get them in, and for them to think of, they call me Mormor, that's Norwegian for grandma. Mormor becoming an influencer is going to just,
Well,
it,
it
it's such
is.
a
Sorry,
concept.
go ahead. I was just going
No,
to say.
yeah.
It's very exciting, and the reason that this is so exciting is because we have this wonderful tool now called the internet that,
Hmm.
when we were growing up, we didn't have it. I mean, it didn't exist, right? And
Hmm.
so I remember back in the 80s and 90s, I went to high school in the 1980s and I graduated in 1984, and then I went to college, and then I was out in the working world in the early 90s. And I remember just feeling so depressed because I was working in these jobs and they weren't even like bad jobs. They were fine. But I literally was just looking at the next 40 years of my life going, is this all there is? I mean, this is, ugh. I mean, this is not what I want for my life. I want something, I knew I wanted to touch people on a global scale. I know I wanted to reach them. But of course, I had no idea how to do that. And back then, there was really no way to do that unless you owned a TV station or a radio show or any, things that took hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Well, now today, because of the amazing tools that we have, you can literally get started for less than $100. I mean, you can start an entire business for under $100. Everybody's got $100 that they can, invest to make money for the rest of their lives. And that's the beauty of this. And so that's what I get so excited teaching people my 7-figure expert system. And by the way, I don't care if you say, well, no, I could never make 7 figures. By the way, first of all, notice that's more head trash, right? That's the very thing that's holding you back. Number one. Number two, I don't care how much money you make. You can make just a nice extra $5,000 or $10,000 a month. I mean, man, an extra $5,000 or $10,000 a month, that's life-changing money for most people, right? I mean, just think about it, what you can do with just an extra 10K a month. So, it doesn't matter. There's so many gurus out there and they have these, boats and yachts and helicopters and all that. And most people think, oh, I could never do that. And you know what? It doesn't matter if you do or not. I've had clients who have added an extra 5 or 10,000. I helped, one of my coaching clients went from making $5,000 a month to making $75,000 a month in less than 6 months. I had another client who doubled his income twice in 12 weeks. So, I mean, the stories go on and on and on. The point is, whatever your dreams are, the tools are here for you, but you've got to have these 3 things in place. You've got to have the right plan. That means you got to know what to do. You have to have the right tools. That means how to do it. And then you really need the right support. So, whether you get the support from me or somebody else, make sure you get the support of somebody who, number one, has a system. That's the most important thing, that it's not personality driven. They've got to have a system. How do you know it's the system? Because many, 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 many other people have used it and benefited as well.
Mm-hmm. And, I have to add that there is some work involved with this, and it's exciting work. And my husband has noticed that my energy level, because I'm percolating again,
Right.
I'm creating, and, I'll
Right.
think of, oh, well, I need to talk to or contact this person.
Mhm.
And then I just go, oh, yeah. And then I came up with one of my businesses is going to be called Mor's Marketplace. Yeah. Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah. And we're setting up place on my website for me to start selling. And when I look back, I've had just such a wonderful 12 years career doing all sorts of things. But wow, I've missed out on a lot of opportunities. And
Because
you don't
nobody
realize.
showed you how to do it.
It was just like I didn't think I couldn't do that. I'd hear other people
Right.
being, and I couldn't do that. But you've got to, your coach Noah teaches you can do.
That's right. And, I see this every single time with my clients. And, January, you're on our group coaching calls. You see that for everybody in the group. Right. And I literally go in and I love this. I love, you talked about that. I helped you with your website this past week. I helped all of our members with their websites and with their offers and the different things that they need help with. Wherever you need help. I mean, let's face it, I've pretty much done it all, seen it all. Right.
Yeah.
And so the point is, that's really what this $2 billion 12-week breakthrough strategy PDF is all about. I wanted to show you what it looks like. Here's what it looks like. when you get it. All right. So the point is, when you go to noahstjohn.com/January, notice all the pictures in there. There's a lot of pictures, a lot of diagrams. And you know why? Because the human mind works in pictures. So I love to give you diagrams and pictures. And you notice that I give you that, in the 12-week breakthrough program, because then you're able, and that's why you're so excited. I've seen this over and over and over again. You're excited because what does the brain know? The brain knows I can do this. Right. And by the way, this isn't about motivation. I want to make this very clear. Imagine if I said to you, okay, January, you can do it. And you're sitting going, well, what is it you want me to do? Well, you can do it. Do what? Right? You see what I mean? So this isn't motivation. But see, notice what happened is you are motivated now. You are motivated because I showed you what to do and how to do it. You're like, ooh, I can do that. Right? Yeah. So it's not like I'm pumping you up. No, I'm giving you the thing. And you're like, you're self-motivated, and boom, you're doing it.
Yeah, and the fun part about it is each week we have 12 modules, and you have different things you're supposed to do or get done, attempt. If you can't get an attempt, you ask Noah, and then you do another approach.
That's right.
And you solve these problems for each module. Of course, he reviews it, and then you get advice, solid, concrete advice, like especially making everything mobile friendly. That never would have crossed my mind. I mean, I had a website that was like from ancient internet history. I mean,
it was a little dated, let's just say, a little dated.
I had 12 pages, and I cut it down to 3 pages. I said, clean this mess up. And my biography page was forever, and now it's just going to be a little short blurb, because that's all people need to know about my personal life.
Right. That's right. That's right. And again, that's having the right plan, the right tools, and the right support. Without that, it's just going to be really, really hard for you to really make that extra money, whether it's an additional $5,000 or $10,000 or more, And so that's the thing. It's really exciting when people, plug in, you see the light bulbs go on above their heads, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can totally do this. I can totally do it. So for everyone listening, think about all those amazing life experiences you've had, but you're not monetizing them. And why? Because no one showed you how to do it. It took me forever because no one showed me how to do it, even after I paid them all this money. I paid them the money. I said, all right, teach me what to do. And they said, well, go do it. And I'm like, do what? They do it. I'm like, you didn't tell me anything, so I hated that. It was so awful. And that's, unfortunately, it's very rampant in this industry still. So anyway, I know we're running out of time. So January, again, I just want to hold up, again, the PDF. Here it is. Here's what you're going to get when you go to noahstjohn.com/January. And that's my $2 billion 12-week breakthrough strategy PDF. Boom.
Okay. Coach Noah, I will see you in class, and I hope some of our listeners will think about joining us and come back for our podcast next Thursday. Thank you.
We want to thank you for listening to January Jones Sharing Success Stories. Always remember Ms. Jones' personal mantra: if you can think it, you can do it. That's what all of our guests have done with their lives, and so can you. You are the ultimate success coach in your own life. All you need to do will be to start sharing your own story with your family and friends. We hope that our guest stories will encourage you to explore an equation in your future that will combine your creativity plus connecting with others will enable you to be successful too. Always remember, your passion plus your purpose will equal prosperity as you explore the wonderful world of January Jones.